What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the broader markets. I'm going to break down why tomorrow is going to be another important day as we're seeing a lot of buyers stepping in. What you should be watching for as time goes on. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below, or use my QR code right over here to sign up. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 of free Nvidia stock. If you deposit $2,000 or more, you're going to get $50 worth of Nvidia plus a $100 cash reward. Deposits $10,000 or more to get $300 worth of Nvidia plus $100, or deposits $50,000 to get $1,000 of free Nvidia stock plus $100. You're also going to qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends very soon, in just a couple of weeks from now, so please use my link down below to sign up. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with NIO and the markets. So NIO has a nice double bottom-like structure and it's been on a nice uptrend ever since deliveries came out. As a reminder, we saw some great data. The company delivered almost 35,000 vehicles in September of 2025. That's an increase of 64.1% year over year, and a big increase compared to what we saw in the previous month, right? We're just smashing records. And if we continue to smash records like this, we could easily see a crazy high month, at least for next month, and a very strong quarter for next quarter. The expectations are now very, very high as the company's absolutely crushing it. And on top of this, we're also getting closer to profitability. We could be looking for profitability in the upcoming quarters, which would be even more fantastic news for NIO. But that depends on lots of different factors, and we're not really there yet. So we'll see how it goes. Mizuho is quite neutral on NIO, but the price-price ratio is climbing as NIO is building a lot of strength compared to the markets. And don't forget that historically, Fridays tend to be green about 53% of the time, which is great news for NIO. Also, when it comes to Tesla, they also smashed the record for deliveries, but the share price kind of pumped and then dumped, like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. And for the American markets, a lot of the jobs numbers are not going to be coming out tomorrow because of the government shutdown. A lot of the crucial reports will not be reported. They're going to likely be delayed a week or more because of the government shutdown, and the absence of these reports comes during a sensitive time. But instead, we're just going to get the ISM services data tomorrow. So at 9:45 a.m., we have the S&P Global Composites and Services PMIs, and then at 10 o'clock a.m., we have the ISM Services PMI, Employment New Orders and Prices. May still cause some volatility for the first 15 and 30 minutes of market open, but we're not going to be getting our non-farm payrolls or unemployment data after all. So for now, the market's just pricing in another cut by the Fed. Heading into the options chain for tomorrow, we actually have a 1.89 puts to call option ratio. There's about 357,000 of these calls expiring, and we have over 676,000 of these puts expiring. That's a 1.89 puts to call option ratio with 663 being max pain. So for NIO, if we're bearish, you want to see us basically dump and lose 7.55. If that fails us, we're looking for a bigger move back down. As long as we hold 7.6, we should consolidate and slowly try pushing above $8 for new highs. That's most likely what NIO is going to try to do. On top of this, when it comes to SPY, we're looking bullish. We're making higher lows right here. We're going to have to see what happens at least as time goes on. And if we end up losing basically this, the 665 area, we're going to be looking for a dump back down to 662. As long as we hold this, we could continue to uptrend, try to push for that 670 mark or above. 672 becomes very possible because we're trying to make higher lows on SPY and we're looking quite solid. So we're still favoring a breakout to new all-time highs. On the QQQ, if we end up losing support at 601, we could be looking for a bigger move down. But as of right now, we're just making higher lows, and higher lows. And we're favoring another push tomorrow for 608 to 610 for new all-time highs. On the IWM, we're looking more bullish. So long as we don't end up losing 242, we're going to be favoring basically an attempt for 246.5 to 248. ES is looking more bullish as long as we don't lose 67.38. We could be looking for a small dip here and then eventually a bounce back up towards 67.80 to 6800. NQ is looking more bullish. Could be looking for 25,200 or above for a nice breakout. Bitcoin's going to be looking more bullish as well. We have 122,000 as our potential target. Tesla's looking pretty okay. We got this rejection on Tesla, so it might dip a little bit more. I would not rule out 429 to 425, and we'll see if it bounces off those levels. Unfortunately, we got a very weak close. We have a bearish engulfing candle, so there is going to be a risk of us tipping towards 429 to 425, and we'll see if we can bounce off that range. Otherwise, the downside risk is still there for Tesla. Nvidia is kind of flat right now. It is dipping a little bit in the after hours. So we're going to see if it comes down to fill this gap to retest 186. Then we should be looking for an attempt to bounce after that. For Apple, we're looking more bullish. We're favoring 258 and then 260. We look bullish to me. AMD is looking more bullish. I want to see if it could hold above 170. If not, it could retrace to like 168. Then hopefully it bounces for 172. Coinbase is on fire. Inverse head and shoulder setup looking for essentially 386. Amazon's looking more bullish. Nice double bottom. It's going to be favoring essentially 223.6. So it looks a bit more bullish. Meta is going to be favoring 733. If that breaks, we're going to be going even higher. Google has a nice inverse head and shoulders. We're going to be favoring basically this 250 area. And Microsoft is going to be favoring 518 very soon for a nice bounce. The VIX is starting to trend here. We're going to see if it rejects or not. It's at resistance. The market may continue to climb higher as the VIX is about to like dip, but we're going to see if it breaks out soon. There is a rejection that could be forming on the VIX. We're not really breaking through this trend line yet. That could be indicative of more upside that's still coming for SPY and the QQQ. So we're going to see if we could try to take out these highs. We held up very, very nicely so far today. So hopefully just try to continue to go higher. We'll see what happens. But for now, I do think there is going to likely be an attempt to go higher on SPY, looking at the setup right now. NIO may also try to bounce. We might see NIO retrace for 7.8 to 7.6, and then it could be bouncing and continuing to push for $8. I want to see us break and hold $8. I do think an $8 test is going to be coming again. So keep that in mind. There is upside potential nonetheless. With that being said, I thank you all for listening. Have a good rest of your guys' days, and I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Take care, guys. NIO has some more potential to bounce. The market is still bullish, and overall, we're still doing a good job at holding up. Thank you for listening, and peace out.